Hello everyone, I am Sagar Zumde from Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Government Polytechnic Khamgaon. Welcome you all in this video lecture series for the course Electronics Measurement and Instrumentation. In this video series, we are going to learn Unit 1 of Electronic Measurement and Instrumentation, that is Fundamentals of Electronic Measurements. And this lecture 2 is dedicated to the topic Static Characteristics of Measurements. In the previous lecture, we have learnt about what is measurement, fundamentals of electronic measurement, block diagram of electronic measurement system, advantages of electronic instruments, classification of measuring instruments, and comparison of absolute and secondary instruments. In this video lecture, we are going to see static characteristics of measurements. After watching this video, learners will be able to classify characteristics of measurements, define static characteristics of measurements, define dynamic characteristics of measurement, and explain different types of static characteristics. Now, characteristics of measurement. The performance characteristics are indication of quality of the instrument. The performance characteristics are broadly divided into two categories. First is static characteristics and second is dynamic characteristics. First, static characteristics. The measuring instruments are used in many industrial processes to measure different quantities. In some processes, the quantity to be measured does not change with respect to time, or it changes very slowly with respect to time. In such cases, the static characteristics of instruments are considered. Static characteristics are defined for the instruments which measure quantities which do not vary with time, or it changes very slowly with respect to time. The second characteristics of measuring instrument is dynamic characteristics. In some processes, the quantity to be measured changes rapidly with respect to time. In such cases, the dynamic characteristics of instruments are considered. So, dynamic characteristics are defined for the instruments which measure quantities which rapidly changes with respect to time. Now, this lecture is for only static characteristics. So, we are going to study types of static characteristics. The main static characteristics are as follows: accuracy, precision, sensitivity, resolution, static error, reproducibility, tolerance, drift, dead zone, span, and range. These are the main static characteristics. We will see one by one. First static characteristics is accuracy. Now, what is meant by accuracy? It is the degree of closeness with which an instrument reading approaches to the true value of the quantity. Accuracy of a measurement indicates the nearness to the actual or true value of the quantity. Accuracy can be expressed in following ways. Accuracy as percentage of scale range. Accuracy can be expressed in terms of scale range. For example, accuracy of an ammeter having range of 0 to 50 ampere can be expressed as plus or minus 0.5% of scale range. And second is accuracy as percentage of true value. This accuracy is expressed in terms of true value. For example, accuracy of an ammeter of 0 to 50 ampere range is 50 plus or minus 5%. Second static characteristic is precision. It is measure of reproducibility of the measurement, or we can define as precision is a measure of the degree to which successive measurements differ from each other. Precision is used in measurements to describe consistency or the reproducibility of results. Now, to understand the difference between accuracy and precision, let us take one example. Do you all know the game shooting or archery? In this game, player has to hit on the target. The target is shown here and different shots of player is also shown in 4 different targets. Now we know that when a player or shooter hits on innermost circle, then he got 10 out of 10 marks or 10 out of 10 points. Means innermost circle is indication of accuracy, and this accuracy decreases as from innermost circle to outermost circles subsequently. Now consider first image. In first image, player hits on outer circle of target but repeatedly hits on the same places. Hence we can say that it is precise but not accurate because it is hitted outside outer circle. In second image, player hits nearer to innermost circle but on different places, not on same places. So we can say that it is having a good accuracy but not precise. In third case, target is hitted on different places each time, and hence we say that it is not accurate and not precise. But in last image, target is hitted by player repeatedly in the innermost circle. Hence we can say that it is having high accuracy and high precision. Now let us take another example to understand the difference between accuracy and precision. Consider that 4 voltmeters V1, V2, V3 and V4 are used to measure a voltage of 100 volt. This 100 volt is a true value or actual value. The voltage is measured 4 times by each voltmeter and observations are tabulated as below. By observing above performance of each voltmeter, we can say voltmeter V1 is precise but not accurate. V1 shows reading 95, 95, 95, 95. So repeatedly it measures 95, but this 95 value, it is not nearer to the actual value, that is 100 volt. So we can say that V1 is precise but it is not accurate. Voltmeter V2 is accurate but not precise. V2 measures 99.1, 100.1, 99.5 and 99.6. These all 4 values are nearer to the actual value, that is 100 volt. But these values are differ from each other. So we can say that V2 is accurate but not precise. Now voltmeter V3 is neither accurate nor precise. V3 gives reading as 100, 108, 103, 110. These readings are differ from each other. These are not same readings and these are not nearer to the actual value or true value. Hence we can say that V3 is neither accurate nor precise. Voltmeter V4 is accurate and precise because V4 gives readings 100, 100, 100, 100. It gives exactly same as a true value 100 volt, and this 100 volt is repeatedly 4 times. Hence we can say that V4 is accurate and precise. Now you can understand the difference between accuracy and precision. Third is Sensitivity, it is the ratio of change in output of the instrument to a change of input or measured quantity. The sensitivity of instrument should be high. Formula for sensitivity, sensitivity is equal to change in output to the change in input. Fourth static characteristics is resolution. It is the smallest change in input to which instrument can respond is known as resolution. If input to an instrument is varied slowly from any arbitrary non-zero value, the output does not change at all until a certain increment is exceeded. This increment is called as resolution. Now, fifth static characteristic is static error. The deviation of measured value from the true value is called as static error. It is defined as the difference between the measured value and true value of the quantity. So here formula of static error is equal to measured value minus true value. From above formula, if static error is positive, the instrument reads high, and if static error is negative, the instrument reads low. Sixth static characteristics is reproducibility. It is the degree of closeness with which a given value may be repeatedly measured. Perfect reproducibility means the instrument has no drift. No drift means that with given input, the measured value does not vary with time. The reproducibility of the instrument should be high. Next, tolerance. It is the maximum allowable error that is specified in terms of certain value while measurement. It is called as tolerance. For above figure, the permissible band of error is plus or minus 2%. The readings of instrument are taken and compared with standard instrument readings. Image shown point A to G. The permissible band of error or tolerance is plus or minus 2%. All the points A to G are lying in this band. Hence, instrument performance is satisfactory. Eighth static characteristic is drift. Drift is the gradual shift in the indication over a period of time where the input variable does not change. Drift may be happen because of environment factor like electrical, magnetic, thermal, etc. Now, classification of drift. There are three types of drift: zero drift, sensitivity drift or span drift, zonal drift. We will see one by one. First is zero drift. The entire instrument calibration shifts by some amount. This shifting is known as zero drift. In above characteristics, the response of instrument is shifted by amount x from normal characteristics. The dotted line shown in the image is normal characteristics, and solid line shown in the image is the characteristics due to zero drift. Second type of drift is sensitivity drift or span drift. If the entire instrument calibration shifts along upward scale as shown in figure below, then the drift is known as sensitivity drift or span drift. In figure, dotted line shows the characteristics due to sensitivity drift and solid line shows normal characteristics. And last type is zonal drift. This drift occurs only over a portion of calibrated span of an instrument. Ninth characteristics, dead zone. It is the largest change of input quantity for which there is no output of the instrument. To understand dead zone concept, consider an ammeter of 0 to 50 range ampere. Now, current through ammeter is increased from 0 to 1 milliampere. The pointer may not show a deflection. If the current is further increased to such a value that the pointer just deflects, we can say the dead zone is crossed. Within the dead zone, the emitter pointer does not deflect. So, dead zone is the largest change of input value of a measured variable to which the instrument does not respond. This dead zone occurs because of friction and inertia. Tenth characteristic is span. Span represents the algebraic differences between the upper and lower range values of the instrument. Last static characteristics is range. The region between the limits within which an instrument is designed to operate for measuring a physical quantity is called the range of the instrument. For example, the thermometer is calibrated to measure temperature between 100 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius. So in this, range is 250 degrees Celsius and span is upper value, that is 250 degrees Celsius, minus lower value, that is 100 degrees Celsius. So it is 150 degrees Celsius. Now there are some sample multiple choice questions with answers based on this topic. You can go through it. With this, we come to end of this lecture 2 and this topic. Let us summarize. In this lecture, we learnt about classification of characteristics of measurement, definition of static characteristics of measurement, definition of dynamic characteristics of measurement, and explanation of different types of static characteristics. So with this, we have come to end of this video lecture 2. I thank you all for being here. If you have any queries, suggestions or comments, kindly contact me on my email ID or mobile number. Thank you.